creates resistance, causes your prospect to put up their defensive wall, which is why it's almost impossible for you to make any sort of sale, right? Or even rapport, let alone sale. So here's the deal. If you've ever been hit with objections before, and this is before you finished your offer, by the way, and presenting your offer, this is probably why, right? Because all this approach leads to is presenting it, it's just generating a ton of unqualified prospects, people who have no need, no budget, nor the personality fit to work with you. Exhaustion, frustration, disappointment, right? Ever been down that road before? Give me a 2 if you've ever felt like that before. And any of this is resonating with you, right? Or relating with you. So that's why selling is not about pushing features and benefits at anyone who will listen. The goal of selling, and make note of this, this is very important, okay? The goal of selling is to filter. It's about discovering who is worth spending more time and energy on, so we can separate those prospects that we should be talking to from those who we shouldn't be talking to. If you don't filter, I'd go as far as saying you're almost crazy, right? Because you're leaving yourself open to the I'll take anyone approach. And that's a terrible place to start as an entrepreneur and as a business owner, okay? Especially if you want to achieve the goals that you might have set out for yourself. The freedom, providing for your family, all that good stuff, right? Growing your agency and scaling. Because if you believe everyone is your client, then you are not in control of your revenue. Give me a 1 if that resonates with you and that makes sense. Yeah, I'll repeat that. If you believe everyone is your client, then you are not in control of your revenue. Yeah. And probably worse, I would say, you're not in control of your business relationships. And please, won't you buy is not the headspace that you want to be in, right? Look at this quote from Mike Michalowicz on the screen here. Probably not pronouncing that correctly, but we'll just call him Mike for now. But he says entrepreneurs are often in panic mode. They go after everyone rather than pursuing a consistent customer profile, right? He actually goes on to say that like every component of business, sales can be systemized. And the groundwork for that system is filtering, he says. Look for information and characteristics that differentiate good customers from less attractive ones, right? So let me take this a step further, because the process of filtering is actually synonymous with running a nightclub. Now, Scott says the customer avatar. Absolutely, but I'm going to go even deeper than that, Scott. Because what I'm going to show you today turns sales on its head completely, compared with what you've probably seen out there before, yeah? So anyway, I want you to imagine whether you have frequented a nightclub before, or you do, or you haven't, it doesn't matter. We all understand the concept of a nightclub. Yeah, there's exclusivity, you need to queue to get in, all that good stuff. And so filtering is very much like a nightclub. And you have 2 types of people that control who gets into a nightclub, generally speaking. You have, number 1, the promoter. Yeah, you can see him in the middle here. The promoter is there to advertise parties, events, to potential guests, basically sell as many tickets to as many people as he possibly can. And promoters get paid for their A to B thinking. This is really, really important. A to B thinking is how this type of profile makes money. Yeah, the promoter. The second one is the bouncer. And this is quite the opposite to the promoter, right? The bouncer's job is to act as a filter, that all important word once again. Now he's there to actually turn away people, to say no first, right? And he's turning away the wrong people because he knows they will cause problems later on. In contrast to the promoter then, the bouncer gets paid for his A to Z thinking. So who would you rather be? Put that in the chat box for me. Yes, it's a rhetorical question, but it will get you thinking. And it's important that we all understand this concept before we move on and we build on this, because we've got some unbelievable things coming up here today. So put that in the chat for me. Would you rather be P for the promoter or B for the bouncer? Which one would you rather be in a business relationship, conversation, you name it? So P for promoter and B for bouncer. Right, of course it would be the bouncer, right? Because the promoter, who's there to sell to everybody, regardless of whether they're a good fit or not, that's A to B thinking. And the bouncer is there to filter out the bad apples so you can attract a better class of client. You have more respect, you have more authority, right? And you choose your clients, just like the bouncer chooses who comes in and out, right? And by the default of failing to filter and taking whoever you can get with whatever budget that they've got, right? You're basically shooting yourself in the foot later on. You're stripping yourself of any self-respect, and you're not sending the right message to the person you're trying to do business